Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitanah Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chaitanya-manubhishtam Sthapitam Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for
Hare
joining.
Krishna.
I just cut the Mangala Charan a little bit short because we have already recited some prayers and I'm hoping Bhishma will give us potency to read this, understand this in the right mood with the right intention and help us develop some attraction towards Krishna. So with that prayer, let's get started. 1.12. So far we were seeing the mood of Dhritarashtra and mood of Duryodhan on the battlefield. And now, and I'm not going to go back anymore. Please hear the last class, but we will go forward. So now the conch shells will start blowing on the battlefield to announce the beginning of the battle. So let's hear all the conch shells going on. So let's recite. We'll recite each and every verse and read each and every purport and translation. Tasya sanjanayan harsham. Tasya
sanjayanan harsham.
Guru vridha pitamaha.
Guru vridha pitamaha.
Simhanadam vinadyochaye.
Simhanadam vinadyochaye.
Shankham dadmau pratapavan.
Shankham dadmau pratapavan.
Please read this.
Yes, I can read.
Yes, go ahead.
Then Bhishma, the great.
Can everybody else mute? Okay, I'll just mute everyone. Yes, please go ahead.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like a roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Should I read purport also?
Yes.
Purport. The grandsire of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana. And out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle, because the Supreme Lord Krishna is something. Your photo comes in between. Yes, because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side, but still it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would spared in that connection.
Haribol.
Haribol.
So Bhishma blew his conch shell. So remember, Duryodhan was talking to Bhishma, and he was encouraging everyone to support Bhishma because Bhishma is their very important player, very wonderful commander in chief, and the whole battle actually relies on him. So he did not want Bhishma to get swayed by his emotions for for Pandavas. He knew that he has a soft heart for Pandavas, and he feels very strongly towards them. So he did not want him to become soft-hearted during the battle. So he was encouraging Bhishma, and Bhishma, in reply, blew the conch shell to show that okay, I'm going to fight with you. I'm going to fight on your side and give my best. Simhanadam. So he did this roar like a lion. Okay. And he basically reassured Duryodhan that I'm going to do my best. But still, in his heart, he knew that Duryodhan has no chance of victory in the battle because he's on the side of Adharma and he's fighting against the will, the supreme will of the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is on the side of Dharma and is on the opposite side. So there is no hope because Bhishma is pure devotee of the Lord. He knows that they are on the side of Adharma and they can only lose. But still, no pains will be spared in this connection. He will still fight, give his best to the battle. And Duryodhan need not be worried about his allegiance, about his loyalty at all. Let's keep going. Tata shankascha bhreyascha
तथा
तथा
शङ्काश्च
शङ्काश्च
भीयश्च
भेदश्च
panvanaka gomukha
पणवानका
गोमुखा
sahaseva bhyananyanta
सहस्रभ्यहयन्नन्ता
sa shabdastumulo bhavat sa
सशब्दस्तु मूलो भवत्.
Please read this.
After that, the conch shell, drum, bugle, trumpets, and the horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
So now, once Bhishma sounded his conch shell, he blew his conch shell that announced the beginning of the war. So then everybody in response, they were carrying different instruments like shankha, bhri, bhri, bheri, bheri. Bheri are like these large drums. So bheri were sounded. Panvanaka. Panvanaka are small drums and kettle drums, and gomukhas, horns. So many bugles, horns, drums, kettle drums, large drums and small drums. Everything was sounded. So there was resounding noise in the whole battlefield. Tumultuous sound was made by everyone in the battlefield. So this type of sound, sound vibrations we know are very powerful. So this type of sound vibration before a battlefield basically is used to encourage all the fighters to get their hearts beating fast, get them pumping with energy and enthusiasm to fight for their cause actively. So that's the purpose of these. That's why, anytime Shankhanad or any Nad like this is done, it's basically to alert you, to make you awake and alert. Okay, rise up to this cause of fighting. Even in the Aarti, Shankhanad is done to invite the Lord, and also that everybody should pay attention because now our Lord is going to be here and is going to be worshipped. So everybody be in complete absorption towards the Lord. So pay attention. So that's like a bugle. Okay, pay attention now. Let's read the next one. Tatha shveter haye rukte. Tatha shveter mahati syandane stitau. Mahati Madhava Pandavascheva.
Madhava Pandavascheva
Divyau Shankau Pradadmatu.
Divyo Shankar.
Okay, please read.
I can read.
Yes.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Purport. In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Deva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory over the other side, because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune never lies alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shells of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that his chariot was capable of conquering all sides, whether it was drawn over the three, whether it was drawn over the three walls. Rebol.
Tribul. So this is an important concept, that there were on the side of Krishna and Arjuna, there were many auspicious signs. Please start noting the auspicious signs that are there on the side of Krishna and Arjuna. Whenever something bad happens, like when Duryodhan was about to be born, there were many inauspicious signs in the atmosphere, in the environment everywhere. When Krishna was about to leave the planet, there were many inauspicious signs. So now you will see on the side of Krishna and Arjuna, there were many auspicious sights and sounds and signs. Okay, so you'll see one of the things is that their conch shells were transcendental. So their conch shells have a specific name. Arjuna's conch shell is called Devadatta, and Krishna's conch shell is called Panchajanya. We should know these names because these are transcendental names. Krishna's conch shell is called Panchajanya, and Arjuna's conch shell is called Devadatta. Okay, so their conch shells have been. When Sanjay is reciting this, you will see that he's giving hints to Dhritarashtra that their shankhas, their conch shells are divya. He did not use word divya for Bhishma's conch shell, but for here he's saying divya. So which he's giving subtle signs to Dhritarashtra by creating auspiciousness around Krishna and Arjuna. That look, their conch shells are transcendental. And there were other signs also. Prabhupada is quoting this verse that wherever Yesham Pakshe Janardana, jiske paksh mein, on whose side Janardan is there, Jayastu Pandu Putranam, those people who are like Pandu Putras, they will have victory. So victory will be on the side of people like Pandavas that are righteous, that are religious, that are conducting themselves according to the will of Krishna. They will have victory. Also, another point to be noted, the word Madhava is used. Does anyone know the meaning of word Madhav? Madhav is a very common name of Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava. We often sing, right? So what does Madhav means? Every name has a meaning. Unlike ours, Krishna's names have very important meanings. Okay, so Madhav means, it has many meanings, but here the relevant meaning is that he is the husband of the goddess of fortune. You don't have to look too far. Prabhupada has given everything. So in the translation, you can see Madhav means the husband of the goddess of fortune. Ma Dhava. Ma means Ma or God or our mother, Lakshmi, and Dhava, the supporter, the maintainer or the husband of that mother, Lakshmi, is Madhav. So Lakshmi or good fortune is there on the side of Arjuna. So and also Prabhupada is mentioned in the purport that their chariot was donated by was gifted by Agni Dev himself. So Agni Dev had gifted the chariot of Arjuna. Does anyone know what else Agni Dev had gifted to Arjuna for this battle? Or in general, what else was gifted by Agni Dev to Arjuna that he was using? Very important things that he was using, which were very fearful to the other side.
Gandhi.
Gandiv, yes. Gandiv and his tunir, his which had two inexhaustible arrows.
Inexhaustible arrows.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So the two. I don't remember what's it called, the turin in English, but the arrow, the thing that holds the arrow. So he had two of those, which were inexhaustible. They would never always have arrows in them.
Yeah, when I used to watch Mahabharata, I used to think, how come they keep pulling out? It never finishes. Because Arjun especially had two inexhaustible arrows. It will never finish. So everybody was very scared of that two inexhaustible arrows and Gandiv. And the Rath, which if you noticed in Bhishma's prayer, he called Arjuna's Rath as Vijay Rath. Vijay is another name of Arjun. So Vijay Rath. So that Rath was supposed to be victorious. That Vijay Rath was being driven by Krishna. So many auspicious signs. There is this chariot which is given by Agni Dev, on which is seated Krishna himself, who is the husband of the goddess of fortune. So fortune has to be on the side of Lakshmi ji, will not leave the side of her husband. So Lakshmi or fortune has to be on the side of Arjuna. Then this chariot was driven by all white horses, and white, is a sign of peace and victory. So those white horses are also a symbol of victory. And then we'll see.
Arjuna and just Arjuna got these at the time of Battle of Khandavan, I think.
Yes, that's right. When they helped Agni Dev, at the time, they got these as gifts from Agni Dev. That's a whole different pastime. We'll keep going. Panchajanyam Rishikesho, Panchajanyam
Rikesho,
Devadattam Dhananjaya, Devadattam
Devadattam
Dhananjaya,
Dhananjaya,
Pondram Dadmahu Mahashankham, Pondram Dadmahu
Dadhamo
Mahashankham, Bhima Vrikodara, Bhima
Bhikarma
Vrikodara.
Vrikodara.
So different names of all of their conch shells are given. Please read this.
I can read, Mataji. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew this, the Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra.
So this is just the names. We'll read in a second. So Krishna's, at least we should know, is Panchajanya. Arjun's conch shell is called Devadatta. Bhima's, Bhima's another name is, what name is mentioned here for Bhima? Did anyone notice in the verse?
Vrikodhara.
Vrikodara. Vrikodar is the name of Bhima. Okay, Vrikodar means voracious eater, somebody who has a very big stomach and eats a lot, voracious eater. But also it refers to performer of Herculean tasks. So Hercules is a Greek god who does a lot of these unimaginable feats that nobody else can perform. So somebody who performs very unimaginable, incredible, extraordinary feats, that person is Bhima. Okay, so he blew his conch shell, which was called Pondra. So that is Bhima's. Let's read this. Please read. Read the whole time.
Lord Krishna is referred to as Rikesha in this verse because he is the owner of all the senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalist cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all the living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in the term of surrender of the living entity, and in the case of pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental sense of Arjuna, and thus his particular name of Rikesha. Rishikesha, sorry, Mataji. The Lord has a different name according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudhana because he killed the demon named Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as a son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandana because he awarded his childhood pastime to Yashoda at Vrindavana. His name is Partha Sarthi because he worked as charioteer to his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
You can read.
I can read, yeah. Arjuna is referred to as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhima is also known as Vrkodhara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So the particular type of conch shell blown by the different personalities of on the side of Pandava, beginning with the Lord, were all encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that of the goddess of fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle, and that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells.
Hare Krishna. So here all the names are being described. So names have a lot of importance, when they are Lord's names or the associates of the Lord's, their names. Those are all very important because they all have significant meaning. They're very purifying. They're very auspicious. And so those names should be memorized. We should know their name, their meanings, and should recite them as much as possible. So we already know the names of the conch shells. Now the names of the Lord and Arjuna are described. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita, there are at least about 33 other names of Krishna. Other than Krishna, Arjuna will call Krishna by almost 33 other names. Okay. And Arjuna is referred to by almost 20 other names. There are almost 20 names given to Arjuna other than Arjuna, like Partha or Bharata or Dhananjay. Dhananjay is mentioned here, right? So like that, there are many names of both of them that are mentioned here, and we should try to know their meanings. Gudakesha is another one for Arjuna. Rishikesha is a name of Krishna. So Rishikesh means the controller or the master of senses. So Krishna is the master of our senses, and that's why we say that we should engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. Who is the master of our senses? Krishna. So whose service should they perform? Krishna service. If they are not performing Krishna service, if senses are engaged in their own satisfaction, their own selfish interest, then that type of sense enjoyment is actually very temporary. It's not very satisfying. It is very short lasting, and it actually causes bondage and causes a lot of bad consequences for the soul, because you're using something that is meant for the master for your own selfish interest. So that's why Rishikesha means master of senses. So the
Hare
senses
Krishna.
should be
Hare Krishna,
served.
Mataji. Mataji, I have a question that what does it mean by transcendental senses?
Transcendental meaning, Mataji. So transcendental word is used a lot in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Transcendental means something that is beyond this material world, something that is divine, that is holy, that is very sacred, that is not under the control of this material world. Okay.
All right. Thank
So
you.
Divya. Divya means, so that's why Krishna's names are transcendental. His forms, his activities, his pastimes, they're all transcendental. Our names are very materialistic. Our names are just, given by people that may not have any meaning relevant to our nature at all. Somebody may be called Vijay, but they may always keep losing. Somebody may be called Amar, but they're not Amar, they will die. So like that, we are given names that may not have any relevance to us. So our names, our actions are also very much materially controlled, right? We are very much controlled by this material world. So those
Okay.
bodily actions, material type of, physical type of actions, forms, names, qualities, they are very ordinary, they are very mundane, they do not have much relevance or meaning. But Lord and his associates, name, forms, qualities, pastimes are beyond this world. They are spiritual, they are divine, and that's why they're called transcendental. So transcendence matlab beyond this world, beyond this world's gunas and
Good. Thank you, Mataji.
so Rishikesh means controller of senses. The name used for Arjuna here is Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya was the name given to Arjun because he earned a lot of wealth for Yudhishthir Maharaj to perform sacrifices as a king. So he went all over the world and he earned a lot of wealth. So Dhananjaya जिसने धन को अर्जित किया है. So he has earned he's winner of wealth. He defeated many kings. He brought back a lot of wealth for the purpose of sacrifices. So if you see, Sanjay is elaborating on the names of the conch shells as well as Krishna and Arjun. He's giving different names. He's giving different name for Bhima also, Vrikodar, to impress upon Dhritarashtra that their names actually matter because they are transcendental, they are important. And their names signify their qualities, like Vrikodara's qualities that he can defeat anyone. So your sons basically stand no chance against Vrikodar, against Dhananjay, against Rishikesh, because these people have these qualities. So he's using very significant names for special names for adjectives for each person. So he's tactfully describing these signs of victory to Dhritarashtra. He's slipping in these details very carefully. Let's keep reading next. Ananta Vijayam Raja. Ananta
Vijayam Raja.
Kunti Putro Yudhishthara. Kunti Putro
Yudhishthara.
Nakula Sahadevascha.
Nakula Sahadevascha.
Sughosha Mani Pushpakau. Sughosha Kashyascha Parameshwasa. Shikhandi cha Maharatha. Shikhandi cha Maharatha. दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च दृष्टद्युम्नो
Drishtadumno
विराटश्च
Viratascha
सात्याकिश्च पराजिता
Satyakishta
सात्याकिश्च पराजिता
Parajita
द्रुपदो द्रौपद्यश्च द्रुपदो द्रौपद्यश्च सर्वशा पृथ्वीपते सर्वशा पृथ्वीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खान् दद्मु पृथक् पृथक् शङ्खान् दद्मु पृथक् पृथक्. Okay, please read this.
May I, Mataji?
Yes, Mata.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Translation. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosha and Mani Pushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Purport. Sanjay informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. Beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world, all were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So everybody was now blowing their conch shells, and there was an uproar, tumultuous sounds of so many conch shells being blown. Draupadi's sons, Subhadra's son, and then all these other great warriors. And Yudhishthir Maharaj's conch shell's name has been given, the Anant Vijay. Nakul and Sahadev's was Sughosha and Mani Pushpaka. So in any case, Sanjay is basically preparing Dhritarashtra that it was very unwise of you to call this battle, to not accept the peace treaties or the negotiations offered by Krishna and Pandavas. And now Pandavas are destined to win, and you will lose all your sons, and the whole Kuru dynasty will be killed. They're all doomed because you're fighting against dharma. You're on the side of adharma. So he's hinting that by giving these names of conch shells and giving the appropriate names of these great warriors on the side of Pandavas, he's slowly bringing Dhritarashtra to that reality that this is not going to go in your favor at all. Okay. Next one or two verses, and then we're going to come to a very important part of Bhagavad Gita. Let's read these two quickly. Saghosho dharata Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabhascha Prithvim Chaiva Tumulo Bhyanun Nadayan Okay, please read.
Okay, Mataji, I can read.
Yes.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the herds of sons of Dhritarashtra. Purport. When Bhishma and others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heart-breaking on the part of Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned. But in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of Supreme Lord has nothing to fear even in the midst of greatest calamity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when I read this verse, I often think of this You know how sound vibrations are so powerful. So both sides were blowing their conch shells and different instruments, and both sides had very uproarious, very tumultuous sound. But when the transcendental conch shells and instruments of Pandava sides were blown, it is described that they shattered the hearts of Dharta Rashtra. Dharatra Rashtra means Dhritarashtra's sons, of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So this is the comparison. I feel like this is a comparison between material and spiritual sound. When a sound is vibrated from a bodily platform, from a on a material platform, on a material level, when any action is done, when a sound is vibrated, anything that does not have much impact. It is very shallow. It is very superficial. It is not in connection with Krishna. So it does not last long. It does not mean much. It does not make very much impact, whether it's an action, whether it's a sound, whether it's words, anything. But when the same body, mind, words, actions, etc., are performed in relation to Krishna, they become transcendental. They are now spiritual, they are now divine, and they have such a strong, profound impact on people's hearts, as you can see. That's why we say holy names are so potent, so powerful. But if I was to sit here and just say somebody's name, let's say I start saying the name of a celebrity, I start saying कुछ भी Celine Dion, whatever, Celine Dion, that's not going to make any impact on my heart, right? It's not going to change, transform my heart. It is not purifying. It is not auspicious. It is not going to remove my anarthas, my bad qualities, nothing. But chanting of the holy names, on the other hand, is so powerful. It transforms your heart. It has such a deep impact on your consciousness, on your purity, on your thought process, on your actions, everything. So anything in connection with Krishna becomes very spiritually potent. It is surcharged with the spiritual energy, and that is why that sound shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Whereas when they were blowing, their cause is very material. It is just for their own sense gratification, for their own selfish benefits. So it does not have much meaning. It is very shallow cause, and it is not related to Krishna. It is actually opposed to Krishna's will. It is unfavorable to Krishna's will. So it cannot last long. It cannot mean much. It cannot have much impact. And that's why it did not do anything to the Pandavas. But Pandavas are very confident because they have Krishna on their side. They have Dharma on their side. Their actions are perfectly aligned with the supreme will, and so their sound vibrations have impact, have meaning, and that is transcendental and can cause transformation. That's how I think of that verse. Let's keep going, then we'll take some time afterwards to take questions. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva Dharata Rashtra'n Kapidhvaja Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanur Udyamya Pandava Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Idam aha mahipate. Idam aha mahipate. Okay, please read this.
Yeah, I did not.
Yes.
At the time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot wearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrow. O king, after looking at the son of Dhritarashtra drawn in a military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the son of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of the Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Ram is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the sign of assured victory. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the purport is very clear, but just one point that Prabhupada has really reinforced in this is this word called Kapidvaja. So this is another sign of victory on Arjuna's side, that Lord Hanuman is situated on his dhwaja, on his flag. There is the mark of Lord Hanuman. Hanumanji himself is present. So this is very important sign, Prabhupada is saying, because Hanumanji is the greatest servant of Lord Ram. And in the previous yuga, Hanumanji had rendered incredible service to Lord Ram. He was very essential to winning the battle against Ravan. So this Kapidvaja also signifies that there cannot be any defeat for Arjuna at all, because Hanuman, the greatest servant of the Lord, is also seated on the chariot of Arjuna. So so many signs. Krishna is there, the goddess of fortune is there, the Agni Deva's chariot is there, the white horses, and now Hanumanji himself. So wherever there is Hanuman, that means there will be victory. Kapidvaja is, does anyone know the story why Lord Hanuman is situated on the chariot of Arjun? Anyone remembers that story? It's a very famous story where Hanuman promised Arjuna that I will sit on your chariot.
Hare Krishna Mataji, is it the one where Bhima had encountered
Yes,
Hanuman?
yes, Madhuri. So that story is also quoted, that he had promised Bhima that I will sit on the chariot of Arjuna. You're right. So when they were in exile, at some point Bhima had met Hanumanji and had caused offense against him by trying to move his tail and could not move it. There is another story where Hanumanji met Arjuna, and do you know that one? Okay, I'll quickly tell because we don't have time. So basically, in
Hare Krishna is the one with the arrows on the river.
Yes. You want to say it in a few lines?
Sure, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, even I remembered. But
Okay.
Prabhuji, go ahead. Yeah.
So there was a time when Lord Hanuman was kind of testing Arjuna and wanted to break his
Okay, let me just
ego.
start it off in a little bit the way I know it.
Sure.
Let me just start it off like that.
You can complete it actually. Go ahead.
Okay. So Arjuna was in Rameshwaram, okay, and he met a monkey, okay, some monkey there, and he was looking at this place where Ram Setu was built, and he asked the monkey, how come Lord Ram, who's such a great archer, he did not use his arrows to build build a bridge? Why did he need stones to build the bridge? That seems a very hard thing to do, to use stones to build the bridge. Why not use the arrows? So monkey said, you can make a bridge with the arrows. Do you think it will last? How can a whole army of vanaras, whole army of monkeys cross over that bridge? I don't think such a bridge can be built. So Arjuna said, no, what are you saying? Even I can make a bridge where monkeys can cross over easily. Let me show. So he made a bridge of arrows, okay? And monkey said, okay, you think it can carry my weight? He said, yes, try. So monkey had not even stepped on the bridge. He just put his tail on it and the bridge broke. So Arjuna was very baffled by this because he's the disciple of Dronacharya. He's very expert in this archery, and he had made a very close knitted bridge of arrows, very closely knitted together. It seemed to be very strong. How did it not bear the burden of a small monkey? So then he said, let me try again. Something happened. So he tried again. And this time monkey was able to walk on it, but he had only walked about 20 paces when the bridge again collapsed. So monkey said, what are you saying? You're not even able to build a bridge where a small monkey like me can walk. How can people like Hanuman, and there were such big warners in that time of Lord Ram, how would they have crossed? That to millions of them. How would they have crossed? So so you're questioning Lord Ram's judgment that he did not make it from arrows and instead used stones. That's so you're now by this time Arjun was really perplexed, and Arjuna had taken a vow. So not recommended to take these kind of strict vows, but in those days people used to do that. So he had said that if I'm not able to make a bridge where you can walk, then I will give up my life. So Arjuna was now very despondent. He was going to give up his life. Suddenly a Brahman came there, and Brahman said, oh, it seems like both of you are having some kind of competition or some trial going on. But for a trial, you need a judge. So let me be the judge and see who is the winner. So they told him their predicament, that I think that a bridge of arrows can be built, and he thinks that it cannot be built, and I'm trying to prove him wrong. So this is what is going on. So he said, okay, build a bridge in front of me. So he built a bridge. And this time, now Arjun had already faced defeat twice. So he had been humbled very much, right? So he sincerely prayed to Krishna. Krishna is his Bhagwan, Aradhya Bhagwan. So he prayed to Krishna very sincerely. Please, Krishna, let this work out. Let this happen in your name. He chanted his names while making it and everything. And he made a bridge again. And this time, he said, asked monkey to cross it. Monkey was able to cross it. Then monkey started jumping on it, but the bridge won't break at all. Bridge won't budge at all. So then this monkey, he revealed his original form as Hanuman, and he became huge. Hanumanji is huge and big. He became so big and started to try to break the bridge. And it looked like a mountain was jumping on a small twig of wood. And yet, how come the twig is not breaking? It was very inconceivable how that small bridge is not breaking, even though Hanumanji is like jumping on it. So then both of them suddenly realized what's going on. And both of them became very humble, Hanumanji and Arjun, and they bowed down in front of the Brahman and said, please reveal who you are. Are you Vishnu? And it was indeed Vishnu, who manifested as Krishna to Arjun. So Arjuna was mesmerized because he could see Krishna, and Hanumanji could see Lord Ram, and completely mesmerized by Lord Ram. And they understood the lesson that Lord was trying to humble both of them. So whenever each of them was acting out of ego, they would not they would lose. And when they were in servitude, in the feeling of service and chanting the names and asking for strength and confidence from the Lord, then they were given all the help. But if they were not asking for help, then they were being humbled and defeated. So both of them bowed. But Hanumanji said that, so Vishnu reassured them, no, nobody is lost in this competition. Both of you, I just wanted to teach a lesson that everything should be done for my service and not for your own ego and pride, and not to slight against each other. But Hanumanji told Arjun at that time, I feel like I have lost and I want to give you something. And my boon is that I will sit on your chariot in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in the battlefield. I'll be situated on your chariot. So this is the story behind that Kapidvija. Now somebody can ask, why didn't Hanumanji fight and just win the battle for them? Hanumanji is, these people of these warriors of Dwapar Yuga were nothing compared to Hanumanji, who is just so huge and strong and gigantic, much more powerful. How come he did not? He was fighting with Ravan and so many demons. These people are not even demons; they're just regular Kshatriyas. How come Hanumanji did not fight? Can anyone answer? Why just sit on the chariot? And Hanumanji also said, I will make a roaring sound every time. I'll keep boosting you, I'll keep encouraging you throughout the battle, and I will make a roaring sound from the dhwaj, from the flag, so that will induce fear in the heart of the other side. That's another reason why there is fear on the other side, because Hanumanji is roaring from Arjuna's chariot. But why did Hanumanji not fight and just finish the battle in a few hours? Can anyone answer?
Mataji, I just like not like know the answer with, but it's like I'm just predicting like because the Krishna was there, and that the whole battle was a lesson to teach for the Kaliyug people like how to going to be do the wrong and right. If the Hanuman is gonna do that, the whole process, the few steps have like some kind of lesson, and that will be missed, and Arjuna will not get the that Bhagavad Gita what the Krishna said.
Yes. Okay. Any
But
other
what I have
thoughts?
heard is that at different times the Lord makes different devotees prominent. So in this case, like Hanumanji could have easily, just finished the battle given his prowess. But the Lord also
Yes.
wants to give a chance, like to say Arjun and different devotees. So
Yes, Mataji.
that is
Anybody else?
To add to this, I would like to say it was not his battle because it was not Hanumanji's battle. It was the battle between the Kauravas and Pandavas, and maybe perhaps that's the reason only Krishna supported where the dharma is, righteousness is, and not actually being fight. And that's what Hanuman was doing to support and to let the world know and to let the Arjuna know that I'm on your side, but not actually participating in it because it is actually your battle to fight,
Very
not
bold.
yeah.
Nice.
Then
All perfect points. I think everybody's made their points very nicely. So yes, this is Krishna gives. So from Leela point of view, Krishna gives prominence to different devotees at different points in time. So if you see in Ramayana, Hanumanji was very prominent, but this is now Arjuna is being given prominence. So Krishna also enjoys different flavors of services, different moods, different emotions, right? Numerous pastimes have to be depicted through numerous devotees, and different roles are given to different devotees. So it's not that just one powerful devotee will accomplish the task every single time. So Arjuna has his own weaknesses that have to be displayed, much like Hanumanji had his own weaknesses at the time. He could not remember that he can cross the ocean. So in each aspect, we learn a lesson because each devotee will come with their own moods, with their own flavor of services, with their own weaknesses and strengths that Lord will correct, will teach us lessons through. So that's why different devotees have a role. It is not it's a very dynamic, spiritual world is a very dynamic place where different devotees have different services, and so this service was meant to be performed by Arjun. And Mataji made a very nice point that this is Arjuna's battle to fight. So we also, when we have a difficult situation, we will have to fight our own battle. We have to overcome that situation with the help of seniors like Hanuman, with the help of gurus or spiritual masters like Hanuman, with the guidance of Lord, like Krishna sitting on the chariot. We can have resources given by Agni Dev, and we can have all these other facilities and resources given by other devotees and by Guru Sadhu Shastra. But we still have to make that effort. We still have to go through the painstaking task of killing our demons and killing our unwanted qualities. That those steps we have to take. So nobody else can just finish off our job, our task. We have to take action ourselves. So we all have our free will, and nobody will just come into our life and just fix everything and make everything wonderful for us. So it's not a magic. It's not magic. Bhakti or spiritual process is not just magical. कि किसी ने आपके कान में मंत्र फूका. It takes effort. You have to put in your work. You have to chant. You have to read. You have to hear. You have to go to temple. You have to do some services in order to purify yourself. So you have to put in those efforts to see some results, to see some transformation happening. So for jivas, this is the understanding that nobody will just come and fix things for you. You have to take actions yourself. So this is Arjuna's fight. He needs to fight. That's why even Krishna is not fighting. Krishna could just finish it off, but Krishna is not fighting. Balramji is not fighting. So powerful people are not fighting. People with tangible weaknesses and strengths are pitted against each other to understand that we have to overcome our own strengths and weaknesses. In this battle, both sides will lose. Arjuna will also face, he will lose all these relatives that he's afraid of losing them, and he will lose them. He will come face to face with his fears, where he will lose each and every one of them. What to say of these people? The Draupadi's sons were all killed, and Abhimanyu will be killed, and so many losses will happen on their side also. But he has to go through that purification to come out victorious on the other side. So nobody will just fix the situation magically for you. You have to put in the work and effort. Okay, this is very important verse. Let's read this and then we will stop. This is what Bhishma was describing in his prayers that we read earlier. This is a memory verse. Please recite. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna Vacha. सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
रथं स्थापयामि अच्युता रथं
स्थापयामि अच्युता
यावद् एतान् निरीक्षेऽहम्
यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहम्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Let's read this. Please read.
You can read, Mataji.
Yes.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Purport. Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As a charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being for the giver of the orders. Since he is a master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him or to order. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible master in all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna has no desire to fight with the cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading person present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war.
So this is a very, now here Arjun will start speaking from this verse. So now we are zooming in on Arjuna. What is he saying? So he's saying to Supreme Lord, he calls him Achyuta. This name is very significant. This name will keep coming over and over again. So Achyuta means infallible. So it's just its simple translation is infallible. So infallible basically means it means that somebody who does not have a fall down, somebody who does not come into the clutches of Maya, somebody who is not controlled by the material qualities or the gunas, the three modes of material nature, who's always transcendental. He never has a fall down. Spirit soul, like we, Jiva, can get entangled by Maya, but Achyuta never gets entangled, never has a fall down, never has a material entrapment. He's always transcendental. So that is the simple meaning of Achyut. But in our Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the meaning of Achyuta is given as Somebody who never falls down from his position of protecting his devotees, who never falls down from his position of showing love to the devotees. Krishna is always a Bhakt Vatsal, and he never deviates from that position. He never has a fall down from that position. So this particular meaning of Achyut needs to be understood, because this is why Arjun is referring to him as Achyuta. So Prabhupada has given both the meanings in this verse. Okay. How? So two ways to understand this. Please understand this very carefully. Krishna here is the chariot driver of Arjun. Okay, so Arjuna is ordering him as like we order our driver, ki please take my chariot to this position. Okay, please take my chariot in between the two armies. I want to see who has come to fight. I want to inspect both the armies. Okay, this is the order given by Arjun to Krishna. But he is saying, Achyuta, that although I am giving this order to you right now, it seems like I am your master, but actually you never fall down from your position as master. You are always the Supreme Lord, even though you may have temporarily assumed the position of a chariot driver for me, yet you are Achyut. Okay, I understand, I recognize that. So please don't be offended at my order, at me giving you order, because you are Achyut. You never fall down from your position. For me, you are always the master. But temporarily, you have taken up this position. Okay. So this is Arjuna's reason of calling him Achyut. But the rasic meaning of this word Achyut is that Krishna has taken up this position of chariot driver because he's a Bhakt Vatsal, because he has very soft-hearted, soft position, soft feelings for his devotees. Okay, he always wants to serve, just like devotees want to serve him. Krishna also wants to serve his devotees. He actually takes, Prabhupada is saying in the purport you just read, Krishna takes delight in taking orders from pure devotees. See, when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure. So he never falls down from his position of giving pleasure to his devotees. He's always taking care, always maintaining, protecting, and giving pleasure to his devotees. That is also the meaning of word Achyuta. He never for us, his position is that of a master. For him, his position is that of our father, and a father never falls down from their position of taking care of their children. So he's always a Bhakt Vatsal and never falls down from that position. So that's he has taken this humble position of a charioteer just for the pleasure, for the service of his devotee. He wants to serve his devotee in this sweet relationship. And if you remember that story where the South Indian Brahman, he was reading Bhagavad Gita. He did not know how to read Bhagavad Gita. He could not read Sanskrit. So he was just reading Bhagavad Gita and just crying over its pages. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him like that. And he said, why are you crying? And people were laughing at him. He said, are you crying because these people are laughing at you? He said, yeah, these people always laugh at me because I can't read Sanskrit. So he says, विप्रा कहे मूर्खामी गीता नहीं जानी शुद्ध अशुद्ध गीता पढ़ी guru आज्ञा मानी. So he says, Vipra kahe, these Brahmins, these learned people call me Murkha. Vipra kahe Murkha ami. Gita nahi jani, because I do not know how to read Gita. Shuddh Ashuddh Gita padi. My pronunciation of Gita is very faulty. So I read it very difficult, with a lot of difficulty. Shuddh Ashuddh, very badly. But I'm following the order of my guru who has told me to read Bhagavad Gita. Guru Agya Mani. Shuddha Shuddh Gita Padi, Guru Agya Mani. But I don't care about these people. If they laugh, it's fine because I'm just following the orders of my guru. So then Mahaprabhu says, then why are you crying if you don't care about these people if they laugh at you? Why are you crying? He said, I'm not crying because they're laughing at me. I'm crying because I'm looking at this picture on Bhagavad Gita, which has Krishna as the chariot driver and Arjun sitting as his master on the chariot. And I'm just crying because Krishna is so merciful that he has accepted such a humble position of a chariot driver for his devotee. Such a merciful, munificent, compassionate Lord we have, that he assumes such a lowly position of a driver, of a chariot driver, for the pleasure of his devotee. So this is why I'm crying. And Mahaprabhu says, it doesn't matter whether these people laugh at you. Aapne Bhagavad Gita ka marm samajh liya hai. I don't remember that verse, but he says, you have understood the marm, the essence, the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is the is infallible from his position as in serving his devotees, in giving pleasure to his devotees. So that is the meaning of word Achyuta here. So it has two different connotations, one for Arjuna, one for Krishna. Okay, the other understanding of this verse is, so Arjuna is saying, I want to go and stand between the two armies. So somebody can say, he already knows who's fighting on the other side. He's saying, I want to see who has come here to fight. But what does he need to see? He already knows that there is Duryodhan and Kripacharya and Dronacharya and Bhishma and Shikhandi and Ashwathama, all these people on the other side. He was there in planning this war. So Arjuna knows everything. What does he want to see? Why does he want to inspect the army? So he says, let me see whom I must contend in this great trial. So Prabhupada is giving this understanding. He wants to see who are these people that are so that are so interested in fulfilling this evil cause, who do not want this peace, who are fighting this unwanted war, who are on the side of adharma. I want to see their faces. So he wants to take stock of the situation. He is trying to understand what is going on. Why are these people so bent upon fighting this war, which is so unnecessary, so unwanted? So he just wants to see who these evil-minded people are. Okay. And also it is described that in this situation, Arjuna is in a very mood of a master or lord, where he is ordering Krishna. Right now, Arjuna has his own plans. He has his own plans. He wants to take a stock of the situation, which is okay, but we should have our plans. We should always introspect. We should see the situation from all sides. What is going on? What is the intention of these people? Or what are my intentions? So he's just introspecting. He's a little bit withdrawing from the battlefield because there is so much sound going on, tumultuous conch shells blowing and everything. He's trying to withdraw himself from that and taking a stock of the situation. Who's fighting? What is the reason again? Why are we doing this? He's understanding his reason for fighting. We should always ask ourselves these questions. Why am I doing this? For whom am I doing this? Will it serve any purpose? So he's just contemplating, he's just introspecting, he's withdrawing from the sound and the chaos of the war and taking a stock of the situation, which is a good thing. But right now he is in command. He is telling Krishna his plans, that please take the chariot in the midst of the two armies and let me see what's going on. So right now he's in control, he's in charge of the situation, he's confident, he knows that he has to fight this war. He's just trying to again ground himself and figure out, why am I doing this, who am I doing it for, and who am I fighting against, all this. So this is an okay situation to start with, where we are in control, we are confident, we have our own plans. That's fine. But you will see what will happen once he introspects on this situation and realizes what will happen, what are the consequences of this war. And we should always think of consequences, why we are doing something, what will be the result of that thing, who will be harmed, who will be benefited, what are the risks and benefits of every situation. We should take a stock, take an analysis of a situation. So this is what Arjuna is doing, and Krishna is humbly agreeing to comply with Arjuna. Just like, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna likes to be ordered by pure devotees, just like in Damodar Leela, he likes to be bound by Mother Yashoda. So he likes to be under the control of his devotees. He says, Aham bhakta paradhino hiya swatantre vadvija. So that I'm not a swatantra Lord, I'm under the control of my devotees. So that's what he's displaying here. Okay, let's stop here because this was a very important verse. Please try to memorize the first verse of Bhagavad Gita and this 1.21, just these 4 lines where he orders Krishna to take the chariot in the midst of the battlefield. I'll stop here. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's take some questions, realizations, comments, anything.
Mataji, one thing when I really thank you for explaining the meaning of Achyuta. We've heard so many times, but the way you explained it, it really makes sense. So thank you for that. That really cleared up a lot of doubts in me. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol. Yes, Mataji. Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, Achyut word is often used for this only. That Krishna is that Lord who never falls down from his position of protecting and loving his devotees. Anybody else wants to share anything? Nagarjun Prabhu, Sheetal Mataji.
One point I just would say, I really like where you says like, it's your own fight. You have to fight yourself. We can just get some support, but if any kind of situations come, we are the one who have to fight. So it's actually very much good to learn, for a spiritual way and even on the personal life too.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, we hear all these discourses, long classes, everything, but then we walk out and we're the same person still. We don't change, we don't apply anything, so nothing happens, nothing concrete, nothing tangible happens. There is no transformation.
Yes, but if we think like that, if something is going to be, just wait for that one moment and say, okay, I know that moment will come and everything is gonna be changed. Even except like trying to do that and bring that moment by doing yourself. Yes, Matali, this is very good one. Yeah, I have to do that.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is only guiding Arjuna, but Arjuna has to fight the war. That's why Krishna said, I will not lift any weapon. That was his vow. And we read in Bhishma's prayers today that Bhishma said, I will break Krishna's vow. And Krishna broke it for Bhishma, to keep Bhishma's word. But Krishna is otherwise not lifting any weapons. He's only guiding. So Paramatma will guide you from within. Devotees will guide you from outside. Guru will guide you from outside. Scriptures will guide you. But nobody can lift the weapon for you. You have to do it for yourself. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. The thing I realized today that I find it very interesting and very good that Lord Krishna is not a free in itself. He's bound by the love of his pure devotees, and he's at the command of them. So it is very much devotion and very purity and very unconditional kind of love which I can see from Krishna to his devotees also. So it is very enchanting, very touching.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
says in Bhagavatam, Aham bhakta paradhino hi aswatantre vadvija sadhubir grastare deo bhaktir bhakta jana priya. Ki I'm not a swatantra Lord. We say that Krishna is swatantra, swarat. Nobody can bind him. He's completely
Yeah. Just to interrupt you, Mataji, he's not tyrant, like whatever he wishes, that has to be done. He's also listens and he's at the mercy, not at the mercy, but he has the mercy of his devotees also. Like he's ready to listen what they have to say, so he's very compassionate and very nice gesture of Krishna.
very nice realization, Mataji. Yeah, he lets himself be bound by Mother Yashoda in Damodar Leela, right? He enjoys that. So a Swatantra Lord becomes a Swatantra by the love of pure devotees. He likes to be bound by their love. And as for he lets you do everything, that's very nice realization, Mataji. If he wanted, he could change the heart of the jiva so they will feel like they should go back to Godhead, right? Like he can just snap his fingers and say, okay, everybody now start chanting or start taking up the spiritual process, but he doesn't do that. He's sitting as Paramatma inside our heart. He has all the powers, but he has given us free will. So love is not won by, he wants us to come back to him out of our own free will, out of our love for him. Love is not कि कोई किसी की उस पे गन रख के बोलेंगे okay मुझसे प्यार कर, right? So then can you love somebody like that if somebody just like
No.
robot change your heart? So he wants us to change our heart out of love for him. He has given us that free will, that you have to develop love for me yourself, not that I will mystically, robotically do some magic. That's not how it works. You have to do the
On
work.
Thank you so much, Mataji. On this point, I have this question coming up that you said that he has given us the free will, but you said in previous verses, one of the verses, that Lord Krishna control the senses. So we have five senses, and when he has the control over what we, you know, see, touch, and all the five senses. So isn't it under some kind of control of
Mataji,
Krishna over us?
are you your senses, or are you the senses, or what? We are
Me?
not our senses, right? We are the self. We are the soul. Right? Senses are part of the body.
Yeah.
So senses are not us. So senses are just a tool given to us by Krishna. It's like this pen given to me by, let's say, my teacher. Now he said, I give you this pen to write an essay or poem for me, but I use up all the ink writing some nonsense for myself, and I used up the ink. And then teacher says, where is the essay? Oh, I did not write it. So did you misuse that pen, or did you use it? You misused it. So senses are just a tool. They're not you. You are the soul. The senses are given as a resource to be used in service of Krishna. He's the controller in a way that he has given them to you. And if you misuse them, they will not be given to you next time, right? So let's say you use your tongue to just eat all kind of, let's say, meat and bad things, whatever. So next time you will get a body of lion or something where you can enjoy those things, because that's what you like to do. So that's the free will. You like to use your senses in doing something particular, then okay, you're free to use it in that way, right? Or you will get punished for using it in that way, because you will get all kind of cancers and diseases because you were eating meat. So misuse of the resources given to us will have its consequences, its repercussions, because they were not ours to begin with. They're controlled by someone else. They're given by somebody else, and they should be used in that person's service.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And I got clarified by your point. Yes. Thank you.
So the senses, the body that we are given will be given according to the propensity that we have. Yes, if we have propensity to do something with that body, then Krishna will say, okay, you're using your free will. You have your free will. I'm using my free will to, let's say, swim. Just spend my whole life just swimming. So next time I'll get a body of a fish, because that's what I use my free will to use my body for swimming.
Yeah. He's the controller of the senses, Mataji, if I understood it right. But it's up to us what we make out of it.
Yes. We have
Thank you.
to choose.
It's very practical class today. It's very practical.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
And explain so many aspects. So many aspects it has cleared. I think it's a very informative class. Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else wants to share anything? If not, we'll stop.
Yes, I want to share. I agree with everyone in this class because, like, it relates to our regular life. Because when you told us the story of Hanuman and Arjun, in that we can pick up like points. We should not question anyone's judgment without realizing anything, what honest thoughts, and also like there are wins on the both side, but it should be with the humble thoughts and everything. It's not with the ego. When we go with the ego, we never win anything. So that's what those are the 2 points that I've like felt was good to know, and it's actually relates our regular life, whatever work we do in daily life, we can relate that things. So that's one thing, and yeah, the other thing, people like God or anyone shows us the path. We need to pick up our own pace and go through our struggles. So that's just the other point I've picked up. So there are like good points that I've seen today in the class. And thank you for that.
Very well. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll continue next time, next Saturday or next Sunday. I just wanted to ask you, let me just stop the recording. Thank you everyone for joining. Vancha Kalptarubhyascha kripa sindhueva patita
Patanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Purve
Hare
Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai
Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya